Well, hi again. Welcome to my latest video. Well, on this one, I'm going to take a look at another product that I was sent. The company is called Valorise or Valoris. Hope I got that pronounced right or close enough. And it is the model UG08S headset. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to open it up and we'll take a look at what comes with it. Now, the key thing about this and that I like, it supports two forms of wireless. For example, it supports wireless to a dongle that it provides that can connect up to your PC, which I'll try that. And it also supports Bluetooth, for example, to your phone and to a PC that supports Bluetooth. It'll be kind of hard for me to replicate the sound that I would hear on this for the people watching this video, so I do apologize ahead of time, but this thing can do 7.1 stereo. You can turn it on or off actually. It's got a lot of controls to it, so that's going to be an important thing to consider. So I'm going to, like I said, open this up, see what comes with, but then I'm going to go into showing you a blown up version of the instruction manual, because the instruction manual that's in there, it's complete, multiple languages, but it's like really small, you know, less than 4 inches square. So I blew it up, and I'll show you page by page, so you can use this as a reference if you are unable to read your small one, or you want to see, you know, what some of that means and it doesn't seem clear. I'll go through some of the more important features through that manual as well. So anyway, let's open this up and get started. Okay, here it is in the box. Let me open it up and see what comes in it. Tight fit. Oh, like a piece of wax paper here. Start with that. What we got inside here? Well, we got the headphone itself. These turn this way like that. Make sure you charge it fully before you use it, which I've already done. So I could actually turn it on at this point by pressing the power on button, which is this button right here. Right over here, we can press that. You hold it down for 3 seconds, and then it should come on. Okay, and this one has a red highlight to it. It's cool. Black and red, I like those two colors together. Let me turn it off again. The same thing, you press the power button, this little button right here. You hold it down for 3 seconds. And then it turns itself off. What's in the box? Well, we got the little dongle that I mentioned. Now this shows the USB-A connector here. USB 2.0 to be exact, right? However, if you look at it carefully, the actual transmitter is connected at the top here. And that is a USB-C. So you can connect it to your PC with either USB-A or USB-C. If you're using USB-C, this is all you have to connect to your PC. So if you have, for example, a laptop, that's really neat to be able to get it down to this size. You only need this adapter if you want to connect it USB-A, and you want to see some nice lights that get displayed over here to tell you how it's functioning. So we'll put that back together, okay? What's in the box? Let's pull this part up in the center. And it's got a little plastic bag in it with a few things. Let's open that up. Take everything out. Well, the first thing is a charger. It's a USB-A to USB-C. The USB-C connector is actually on the device on this side right here. So that's a USB-C just for charging purposes, okay? That's pretty straightforward. It's already charged. I charged it before. So, and here we have a 3.5 millimeter TRRS cable. Let's see how long that is. Well, that's about 5 feet. When I stretch it out, let me see. I'll fold it in half twice. See what it looks like. And there we are. That's more than a foot right there. So it's about 5 foot altogether. And that would go into the headset, into this connector for the cable. One thing to note is you do not need it powered on to use this. At this point, if you have a PC that you want to use this as a regular headset wired, you just plug the other end into the equivalent connector on the PC and you're ready to go. Matter of fact, according to the instructions, if you have it turned on, it will automatically turn off once you've connected this cable into this jack. Okay, so that's an important thing to notice. Here is the actual manual. As I showed earlier, it is pretty small. Now, obviously, you can have some assistance like I do when I go with an amp magnifier. It all depends on how good your glasses are if you need them. But let me go ahead now and I'm going to go through this manual It's in multiple languages, so I'll just go through the English section of it up on the screen here, and I'll show you what each of the pages covers that's important to know. Okay, so let's get started with that. Okay, what I have here is a blown up version of the manual that I'm going to page through. This first page here talks about what the various LED indicators happen to be. I think the most important one here is to make sure that you have the charging properly. When you're first charging, it sort of blinks red, and then when it's fully charged, it stays a solid blue. That's the last entry there, okay? Charging mode. The rest is pretty obvious. Here's the actual identification of all of the components on the headset. On the box opening I showed some of it, but this gives you a lot more detail. The left hand side has the mic in it, as you can see down in the bottom of the screen of that left headpiece. You got the volume control, that little one that looks like a power button on the computer, that's the power button. And that's also used to change things related to calls. So if you're using it connected Bluetooth to your phone, as you can read here, there are several things you can do with that. Won't get into a lot of the detail on this. The decorative light, you also can play with that with this little button here up at the top under the right headset piece, and you can change also to surround sound 7.1 on that particular one. Pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to point out those things. Over here they tell you basic operation, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, and this is assuming it tells you the dongle is the initial default, but I did try the others and they work just as well. When you have it going to Bluetooth, for example on your phone, you'll see the device, the actual model number of this as a Bluetooth device, and you just connect up to it. It tells you how it remembers the different modes. So if it was in one wireless mode or the other, let's say dongle versus Bluetooth, then it will stay that way the next time you power it on unless you change it by playing around with the appropriate buttons as described earlier. It tells you here how to switch between the various wireless modes. You click on the power button 3 times in the wireless mode to switch to transmitter, and vice versa to go from transmitter to wireless. And then they talk about how it will automatically shut down if it doesn't see any activity within 5 minutes. That's good. It'll save any battery power you have. And the volume control, there's a wheel, very easy to get to on that side, your left side, right under your left ear, so keep that in mind. How to turn the surround sound, that's the little button on the right side that's labeled M key, okay? So that's the one you use to toggle that back and forth. You can also use that to change the lighting modes from a decorative lights in a breathing mode to steady state, or you could change it to go on or off and stay on or off, and key between the modes of breathing and gradient. Default and the turn on is decorative lights when the headphone is turned on, and the default is the last mode set. It tells you how to place a call, and that's using the power button that's on the other side underneath the left ear. And you use that, for example, if you're playing music and you want to turn it on or off, you can do it with the button on that one. So a short press allows you to stop it or pause it. The same thing with calls. You can use that button to deal with the calls, to answer the phone or to disconnect it or to ignore it, to reject the call. The bottom point there, you got to hold it for 2 seconds. Activate the mute mode, the mute button. Again, on the left hand side there's a mute button on there, and you can use that, and you basically just click it on or off, and the mic will be turned on or off, assuming that you're in the middle of a conversation, either with the computer, you're on a live stream, or you are on a phone call. It'll work either way, depending on what you're connected to. The battery status, it tells you can tell what the current battery status is in the top right corner of the iOS screen device. So if it's connected to your phone, an iPad, whatever, you'll be able to see what the status of the battery is right on the screen. Headphone charging, and I did test this. It only takes about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it was pretty quick. That's my initial charge that I gave it when I first opened it up. When charging, there's that red indicator, as I said, and when it's fully charged, it turns blue, continuous. You can clear out the pairing modes by pressing the power button 5 times. Clear out primarily the Bluetooth wireless more than anything else. You're not going to clear out the dongle. The line in, as I said before, once you plug the line in, a 3.5 millimeter connector up to it, it will turn off the headset altogether. So it will not use any power from it. It gets the power from the PC in that case. And when you first power it on, it starts with the inserted USB port, which is the dongle. Then at that point, that's considered the transmitter. When that is on, you can reset it by pulling it out and putting it back in again. And they tell you how to troubleshoot it a little bit if it's not pairing properly by basically playing with that, pulling it out of the PC and putting it back in again. Seems to clear it up according to these instructions. Windows, when using the headset for the first time, you should set up Windows so that it has both the mic and the headphones set up to be the default for the PC. So you have to go into the control panel and set that, or go down on the status bar in the bottom and change it. Either way. Oh, they talk about using it with PS4, PS4 Pro, or PS5. It'll work with that, and they give you the instructions here. Again, you see UG-08S, wireless earphones are detected. That's what will appear also with the Bluetooth on the iOS device, okay? So you see that repeated here in a few different options. And then here are some of the parameters, stats basically, of the device, frequencies that it's running out, what the distance is, 30 meters, right, at 33 feet, the speaker size, and so forth, the frequency that it's running at normally. So in case you're interested in those specifications, they're all here. And the transmitter has its own specifications. That was the receiver, and these are the transmitter. And most of them are paired up with each other. And then they give you some tips about making sure you have a 2-amp charger connected to the USB-A connector when you want to charge it. It doesn't come with it in the kit, so make sure you have one of those handy. For long periods of non-use, they recommend anything like 3 months. You go ahead and recharge it basically before trying to use it. And they give you some things to be cautious about, general best practices, and again, some of the same things about keeping it away from hazardous water or other chemicals that would damage it. And then here's a warranty card to fill out. And if you have a problem with it, when you reach out to the vendor, they may ask for this information. So this is where you could write it all down day one and have it handy. And that is basically it for the manual. I wanted to, again, put it up on the screen here, just in case you're having some issue with reading that little teeny book that it comes with. Finally, I am recording what's coming through the microphone of the headset, so everybody can hear on this video what it sounds like and what capability this has. I think it sounds pretty good, but I wanted to make this demo and add it to the end of the video so that everybody else could hear. So with that, thanks for watching, and until the next time, take care.